Thank you, May, and good morning from Manila. It's 9:14 a.m. Just the habit of broadcasters telling you exactly what time it is. And I'm talking to you from Manila, Philippines, halfway around the world from where you are. My name is Vivian, and who would ever think that I would be even speaking to anyone, whether in public, in private, or online? Let me give you the backstory. I didn't like speaking to anybody from grade 1 to grade 6. So much so, in first grade, when people would ask me, "What's your name?" What's her problem? Well, if you can see my family name, how many letters does it have? How many syllables? Try spelling that in first grade. Almost impossible. But then again, even as a very young child, I knew that I was stuck with that name, so I had to make the impossible possible. And that has been my mindset all my life. Make the impossible possible. Would you want to hear about my journey? If yes, put 2 thumbs up. If no, ignore me and shut me off. So do I see 2 thumbs up? I will proceed if I do. No thumbs. Oh my gosh, no thumbs for some people. Okay, there you go. Okay, there you go. So that's the backstory of point A to point B. How did I get to where I am now? Well, from a convent-bred girl, nuns, where we all put our hands together and just stay there and sit there and be well behaved. No problem not talking except when they call me. But then again, going to 7th grade, I earned and I won a scholarship in the prestigious one and only the American School in the Philippines, set up and run by Americans. And mostly the kids were kids of diplomats, consuls, country managers. What is my point? Oh my gosh, on my first day of school, it was so noisy. Noisy, not as in external noise. Everyone was talking to everyone. Huh? That never happened in a convent school. The moment we got in the front gate, zoop, we were supposed to walk silently and just go to our classrooms. Impossible. I don't fit here. I thought to myself, academically, I won the scholarship, but just like newbies in Toastmasters, I had the same thing on my mind. It's like, what am I gonna say? I don't know anybody, and I don't have anything they might be interested in. So for those of you who had those sentiments when you first joined Toastmasters, realize when I was 11, I had to figure that out, and I didn't have the club to support me. Again, I decided I will make the impossible possible. I remember the first thing I said when they said, "Hi, what's your name?" Quickly, I just said, "Vivian, what's yours?" Ha! I got it. When they ask you something and then you know you're going to have trouble explaining the spelling and the pronunciation, because even now, the correct pronunciation of my family name is Mangalindan. That's a tall order for you. At best, it's going to be Manga Lindan. That's manga as in mango, Lindan as in Linda. See, I have kind of made the impossible possible. So that is the first hurdle I had. Being able to talk to kids and teachers from all over the world, because it was international. I just told him, "Hi, I'm Vivian. What's your name?" So that's something you can do when you enter a new scenario, a new place with new people. Think of something nice and easy for you and then get them to talk about themselves. Because the favorite topic of people is themselves. Then you just be a good listener. Yes. And then learn to opine. But that's another story on another day. How to have opinions. Let me go forward and tell you how I made another impossible possible. Somewhere down the line, in 2001, I was invited to give a talk abroad. Platform speaking. Nice. They were all 6 feet tall. Not so nice. I am 5 feet, not so tall. So imagine when they call me to the stage, I'd always look like this. So a tip for all of you who want to speak on platform, if you have my height challenge, well, you might want to do what I did, wear heels, but then again, that's not practical at my age. I learned to notice what I do, even when I'm seated. I learned to stand tall with my back straight and my shoulders square. There's something about sitting tall and standing tall that gives what this word is called projection. Look at me. If I just do this, notice how much smaller I look like this versus if I do that. I didn't even move my position on my seat. I just aligned my spine straight. Again, it also makes you look confident. When you're like this, even if you have no idea what you're going to say, or if you forgot the next line of your speech, you look like you know what you're going to say when you're thinking. And the tip, make the impossible possible. When you're aligned and you don't know what to say next, take a deep breath and go, that bought you 1 to 2 seconds. Making the impossible possible is a mastery that I have developed. Perhaps I should sell it to Toastmasters and make it a pathway. Making the impossible possible pathway. Why not? So I solved my challenge about height. And again, when taking pictures with people who are 6 feet tall, this is how you do it. They all stand there. You go like this. Notice I gained some inches on cam. You just move one shoulder forward and just tilt this 1 inch up. Please don't do that. That's not a good idea. Don't show your neck. Just move and project. Now, here's an extra challenge. Are you all aware that I am hearing impaired? That's what I said. I am hearing impaired. I fall under the category of PWD, person with disability. But I make the impossible possible. I am active with the National Council of Disability Affairs. I give talks on their behalf. And I tell people, we are not disabled. We are just differently able. Then I look at them and say, I'm a public speaker. Are you? I am a broadcaster. Are you? I am a talk show host. Are you? Then I tell them, not all people who can't hear cannot speak, because they say, how can you speak if you're deaf? I said, well, deaf does not equate to mute. That's DEAF and MUTE. And there's such a thing as I had an accident. I busted my eardrum. How did I make the impossible possible? When I'm in public speaking, there's always the microphone. The microphone, you can hear me, but my speakers are always on extra loud here on my end. You can always make the impossible possible if you want to look in that direction. The bottom line there is, don't go around feeling sorry for yourself. And the last one is just something cute I just had to tell you. Since I first started giving public speaking talks around the world, I have gained 1 pound a year, over 20 years. Oh my God, that's 20 pounds, right? So, solution, making the impossible possible. I decided to redefine, reboot, and reinvent myself. I became a talk show host. I speak behind the table and no one sees my waistline, which they could very clearly see when I was standing doing platform speaking, which is why I'm here. When the evaluator says, you must stand, I said, there's no must. I am honing my skills as a talk show host and a broadcaster. We are always seated behind the desk. So to make the impossible possible, find your place in the sun, have generosity for yourself. Think of your blessings, think of your strengths, think how you can serve people better. And then you can make the impossible possible. If I could do it, you can do it too. And with that, I say, I love you from Manila. Good morning. Mwah.